Howdy, Tolks. Welcome to the second breakfast. Should this just be second breakfast then? I don't know. This is going to be about you and I, and I say you and I in terms of I'm going to do the deep diving and you're going to listen to me do the deep diving. We're going to learn about the casting of the Lord of the Rings Amazon series. And I say this, if this is not what you want, then you should have voted, because guess what? Voting matters. I say this on the day that the Iowa caucus results still have not come out yet. If you wanted to vote on content ideas and stuff for second breakfast / bonus episode ideas, make sure you are following Twitter and Instagram at Tolkien About Pod, because I put up polls and stuff. Oh, and also on Facebook. I'm all over the place, in case you can't tell. I didn't make a plan for this episode, which is great. Yeah, if you want input into what these kinds of episodes are going to be like, make sure you are following me. I say me, following the podcast on social media so that I know what you want. And according to Twitter polls, this is what you want. So if it's not what you want, then you should have voted. And I'm going to tell you that again in November 2020. Please make sure you register to vote. Anyway, so I'm going to be going into a deep dive into the cast announcements for the series, because they made all of the announcements a couple weeks ago now at this point for the majority of the cast. The only thing is that we don't know who any of these people are playing. We've been told that this series will be about the Second Age stuff, so it's not like these people are going to be Gimli or Frodo or anyone. Because, I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone could ever do a recasting of Frodo and have it not be Elijah Wood. I literally just typed in to Google Lord of the Rings Amazon Prime series, and there's a Rotten Tomatoes article that says everything we know about Lord of the Rings Amazon, and then it trails off. So let's see. But basically, I want to see who these people are. Who are these people that are going to be taking over the next part of the story? Because from what I can tell, they're relatively unknown. These are newer actors, or at least people who have done really maybe smaller independent films or really distinguished stuff. And it's exciting. My first instinct is that's a lot of white people, which I think is my general instinct for Lord of the Rings. And, you know, overall, I'm looking at a grid that shows 15 people. Also, this might sound bad, but I have a feeling who of these people might be an orc, just because it looks like one of these actors looks like he would be 20 feet tall. Let's see, that's the third person. I'm looking at a picture of Joseph Maui. Let's learn more about him. This is a very helpful article, actually, on Rotten Tomatoes. They have linked all of the actors that are able to be linked, because I think it looks like there's a child actor in there, or at least a younger actor, so maybe he doesn't have as many roles yet under his belt. Man, can you imagine your first role being Lord of the Rings Amazon Prime? Is that Eddie Redmayne? Okay, so the guy who I said looks like an orc has been in Red Riding 1980, Shell, Made in Dagenheim, and Mr. Jones. And those are his highest rated movies. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Jones has not yet come out. It is coming out this year. So if you want to see the guy who I think could possibly play an orc, because it looks like he would be 20 feet tall. This is also just going off of his headshot. It looks like he, literally just from his neck up, looks like he would be 20 feet tall. Let's see. He has not had a really positive movie since 2013, and that was Shell. Wasn't that the one where Scarlett Johansson was like a whitewashed Japanese robot, and that was problematic? No, that was like Ghost in the Shell, wasn't it? Let's go with that. Oh my gosh! I have to watch this, because the guy who plays Fitz on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in this movie too. Science, biatch. Oh, and I love him. Ian DeCaster. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's... I love him. All right, cool. So if you want to learn more about possible orc guy, watch Shell from 2013. Has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's pretty good. Oh, a 65 on audience score. Maybe not. Obviously, that's one of those movies that is really distinguished and people don't get it. And by people, I mean me. Okay, the next person I want to look at looks like he could play a hobbit. This is Robert Aramayo. Aramayo. He looks like a baby. How old is this guy? Let's see. That's the other thing is I wonder how much information. Oh, and there's my computer freezing or internet Chrome freezing because I'm using a 2010 MacBook currently. Oh, he's in Game of Thrones. Okay, he's 27. Oh, he was in Game of Thrones for a while, like the whole time it looks like. Who did he play in Game of Thrones? Let's go screw this Rotten Tomatoes page. You're not helpful at all. I want to know who these people are. Okay, so while that one is loading, let's look up one of the female actresses. I'm a equalist. Is that it? Feminist. There we go. I know the right words. Okay, Nazanin Bonaidi. Your name sounds dope. And she has I bet you she plays an elf. $20 says she plays an elf. Because I was going to say, she looks like a supermodel. Honestly. I'm calling it now. She plays an elf. Look up this girl, Nazanin Bonaidi, Nazanin, and then her last name, Boniadi. And tell me this woman does not look like she would be an elf. Wait, have they already? Oh, it says pre-production. Okay. Her IMDb page already credits her in Lord of the Rings. It says episode 1 and 2. And I was like, are they already filming this? That's amazing. But it just says pre-production. But that's fitting that if she is an elf and also that she's a she, that it only lists her for 2 episodes because I bet if I looked up the other male actors, it would say 10 episodes. Oh, no. Okay. It looks like they're all for 2 episodes right now. Okay. So the guy earlier who I said looks like he could be a hobbit was in Mindhunter, Elmer Wayne Henley Jr. So he was probably one of the creepy murderers. He was in season 2, episode 4. Oh, I say this like I watched Game of Thrones, but he plays young Ned, if that means anything to you people. So that's the guy who I think could be a hobbit. Oh, guys, this girl, I don't know how to say her name at all. She was in How I Met Your Mother. She was Nora, and she played in the later seasons, spoiler alert for How I Met Your Mother. She played in the later seasons one of Barney's kind of serious girlfriends. And I think they're even engaged. And I'm just remember there's one episode in this plot line that is where Robin and Barney are both in serious relationships and they cheat on each other, and Barney breaks up with Nora thinking that Robin will break up with Kevin. And then they go to the bar and Kevin is still with her and they're all happy, and Barney and Robin just share this look and she shakes her head like, no, I didn't. And it's, gut-wrenching.
Sometimes hours can feel like minutes, and sometimes a single second can last a lifetime. For Barney, the second that would never end was this one.
Anyway, can't wait to see her in Lord of the Rings Amazon Prime series. Okay, who's this cute little baby boy? I say baby, he's probably 13 years old. Tyro Mahafidin. Great. Oh, he's an Australian teen. Okay, great. I should also mention that a lot of these people are being brought up when I Google search on Lord of the Rings wiki, and for obvious reasons, I'm not going to click on those links because, I don't know, I feel like it would be fans speculate that he will play Merry and Pippin's son. Wouldn't that be wild? Okay, so this is his first role. Oh, what a cutie. He looks cute. Also on second thought, I think he's also white. So that brings our actors of color down to 2 people. I don't know. He looks tan. All right. I want to look up this person who looks like he could be Hook in the next adaptation of Hook. Dylan Smith. That's a nice change of pace from all these different names that I don't know how to say. Okay, I'm going to let that load. And while that's loading, I'm also going to look up, I want to look up this girl who could look like she could sing an Irish shanty. Morfydd Clark. That also sounds like an Irish name. Can we talk for a second while my computer is loading about how much I love Saoirse Ronan's name? Saoirse. Oh, it's so good. I love it. I legitimately want to name one of my children. I say this as if it works for both a boy and a girl. I love that name, Saoirse. And like, it just sounds, it sounds like you're speaking it in an Irish accent. All right, there we go. It loaded. Oh, she's Welsh. Darn. Oh, okay. So Morfydd Clark was in, so, okay. Also, I am now confirming it looks like everyone on the IMDb pages is listed as being on for episode 1 and 2. So my earlier theory about, oh, well, they're just listed for 2 episodes because it's a woman and Tolkien doesn't write a lot of female characters is wrong. Hopefully we see a lot of these female actors and characters pop up in a lot of the episodes, and they play a lot of, that's what I'm really excited about this, because it's like, the series is being created in an age now where writers and producers, they're kind of starting to get it after all these years of, oh, there are a lot of people in this fandom who are females and would probably identify better if we had female characters. Maybe we should throw in more of those females. Anyway, so this girl, Morfydd Clark, was in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I don't believe that did very well. Let's look that up on Rotten Tomatoes. Also, Tyler, if you're listening, please don't put tomatoes into a fruitcake. We had a texting conversation about fruitcakes and tomatoes and stuff. And he mentioned putting tomatoes in fruitcake. And I said, please don't do that. I'm so sorry if this isn't the content. This is not the content you're looking for. You can peace out whenever you want. This is just a fun time for me after work, about to make some tacos. Okay. Oh, yep. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. 44% on the thermometer. Sure. And 44% on audience score. Great. Man, didn't stand a chance. What else? Oh, she's also in His Dark Materials. I know a lot. Oh, and the Dracula. I've been meaning to watch that. Sorry, y'all. This is also mostly just for me at this point. Okay, Dylan Smith. I probably should have specified when I did a Google search for that. Lord of the Rings actor. Because wouldn't you imagine it? Oh, he's Canadian, wouldn't you know? Wait, no, I thought I already looked him up. Oh, y'all. Okay, so originally, these are 2 different people. These have to be 2 different people. Oh, I see. The way his face is angled makes a huge difference. Because his picture in the Rotten Tomatoes article. Also, I think I'll link the Rotten Tomatoes article in the show notes. So if you're listening and you want to read along and you're like, what the heck is she looking at? So the picture they use in the Rotten Tomatoes, it's from a tweet that they tweeted, makes him look like a villain, like he could be Gaston, but a little older. But his IMDb picture looks like he's definitely Aragorn. I know he's not going to be Aragorn, but like, you know what I mean. I think the picture they used on the picture that Rotten Tomatoes pulled must have been from like a movie or something, because he looks like he's scheming and conniving. Okay, he was not anything huge, I don't think. Maze Runner 2, I think. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh, the video game. Yeah, it doesn't look like... I won't be surprised. Oh, and he was... Nope, okay. Yeah, so he hasn't really been in anything. So, interested to see what happens with him in this series. The other thing is that the Rotten Tomatoes picture, he doesn't have a beard, and his IMDb page, he does have a beard, and he looks a lot better with a beard. Okay, I'm going to stop thirsting after this guy. Who is next that I want to look up? Let's look up this girl in the glasses. It looks like she could be a teenager. She looks kind of young. And Megan Richards, if you are listening, I apologize. So she's an actor that's not linked in this Rotten Tomatoes article, so she might not have a lot. Yeah, she has not been in a lot. How old is she? I just want to know how old she is. Okay, yeah, she's 21, I think. I just did math in my head, so, you know, you can trust me with that about as far as you could throw me. Okay, I'm going to look at this Eddie Redmayne knockoff. That would be Charlie Vickers. Okay, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to click on the one wiki to rule them all and see what it says about him. I imagine that most of these just say the same things for all of the. Yeah, it says a British actor will portray an unidentified character in Amazon Studios' upcoming Middle-earth TV series. He graduated from Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in London. Fancy. And yeah, hasn't really been in a lot. Hasn't been in anything, really. I'd imagine he's another Hobbit. Ooh, let's look up young Hades. And I say this thinking of the guy who plays Hades in Hadestown. Well, just kidding. Turns out the person I'm thinking of plays Hermes. Andre DeShields does not play Hades, and this is the first time learning of this. Becca and Eni, please don't come for me. Okay. Is that Ishmael? Is that how you say his name? Really? That's great. That's great. Ishmael Cruz Cordova. But there's an accent on the first O. Cordova. Sure. Not available. Okay, so we are going to look you up. He's got a very chiseled jaw. Y'all, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to become the Lord of the Rings thirst podcast, but I mean, look up his jaw and I think you'll understand. Okay, he's obviously been in something because he's in this video from Vanity Fair. Okay, he's in this video with Gina Rodriguez because they were in the action thriller Miss Bala last year. Saoirse Ronan. Sorry, that was a recommended video. Oh, she played Would You Rather and he showed up. Okay, who is this guy? Oh, he was on Sesame Street. All right. The Good Wife. Oh, okay. For you Disney Plus Star Wars people, he was in The Mandalorian, episode 6 or chapter 6. I'm assuming that is also episode 6. He played, I want to say Quinn, but I know that's not right.
From Miss Bala, here with the gorgeous
Did you hear that? Did you hear him say his name? I was nowhere near close. Listen to that again. Ready?
Gorgeous
Ismael Cruz Cordova, and we're gonna teach you guys today a little bit of.
Oh, wow. He's great. Okay. Can't wait to see him. I love that. I think, so it looks like he's Puerto Rican. Great that there's, these people are all over the map. I appreciate that. Okay. And let's do one more person. Do I want to do the Peter Pettigrew looking person?
Peter Pettigrew?
Yes, little lump of a boy.
Sure, let's look up Tom Budge. Wouldn't that be dope if he was playing Tom Bombadil? Oh, he has a mustache. Rotten Tomatoes pulled interesting pictures from them, or for these people, because he has a mustache. Okay, he's Australian. G'day, mate. Literally nothing I recognize. Absolutely. He's done a lot of... Okay, he's done a lot of short can't talk. He's done a lot of short films and a lot of TV series. Okay. Where I say that like I'm going to analyze like, well, I'm sure that means that he's better. Ismail, I don't know. I'm going to have to like insert his name again to remind myself. I closed out of Tom Budge's tab and Ishmael. I don't know how to say your name. His tab was still open. His eyes are beautiful. Oh.
Ismael Cruz Cordova.
Okay, getting lost in those eyes. All right, let's find out what else. Okay, so the other thing about this article, let's see. Oh, okay. I don't think I knew that about her. Oh, okay. Okay, let me fill you in. Okay, so remember the girl who I said it looked like she could sing a sea shanty, an Irish sea shanty? She is actually the one who's reportedly, what's her name? Morfydd Clark. People are speculating that she's going to play young Galadriel, which I made fun of a couple episodes ago because it's like, wouldn't that just be Galadriel? Just a de-aged Cate Blanchett. Let me look up Cate Blanchett, because I wonder, people consider the movies so canon, but it's also important to remember that it's just one interpretation, and that, like, I hope people aren't going to be looking at this series like, oh, well, the continuity here is different from the continuity in the movies. Because they're two different interpretations, but they're also two different stories from the same world. Okay, what I explained really poorly here is that, or what I didn't even explain at all, is that I hope people aren't like, oh, well, Morfydd Clark doesn't look like a young Cate Blanchett because they consider Cate Blanchett to be the quote-unquote canon Galadriel. So, I don't know, just jumping in to explain that point because I didn't explain it previously. Okay, and then the other piece of news that I was like, oh, dang, is that, so I was also making fun of many episodes ago, I want to say it was back when I was doing Fellowship, that Will Poulter, who plays the kid from We're the Millers.
You guys are getting paid?
He was like one of the first, I think he was the first person they announced being cast in the series. He is reportedly not being in the series anymore. It says reportedly cast in a lead role, but pulled out due to scheduling conflicts. So the way that this, so he has been pulled out, and it sounded like he was going to play. Oh, okay. You know what? That makes sense. The guy who played young Ned Stark, who has been cast in this series, is replacing Will Poulter, and that makes sense because it's a similar look. They have a similar look going on. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Hobbit guy, Robert. This is just getting too confusing. So I'm going to move on from here. Maul? Who is that? Oh, earlier when I said Joe. Oh, it's the guy who I thought could be an orc because he looks like he's 20 feet tall. It's not Maui. I thought it said Mawie. It's Maul. L-E. He played Benjen Stark. That means nothing to me. Oh, yep, here we go. Variety reported in October that sources say he will play a villain named Orin. Did I not say it looks like he could play an orc? Like, very similar. I'm right. Awesome. Yes. This article also goes into... I don't think I knew that. When will it premiere? The series is a single sentence. The series is expected in 2021. So I think my timing might actually work out pretty well. All right, guys, we're going to slow down this train. Episodes are going to be 20 minutes long. No, I'm just kidding. But 2021, like that's next year. Because it would be ideal. The timing might work out that I can roll pretty swiftly into doing the series. Another notable piece of news is also that they have renewed already for a second season. And then it says that season 1 is still in early pre-production. So it's in like pre-production in New Zealand. And then I guess they'll do season 2. That's so exciting. I'm so excited for this because this is something that like I'll be able to experience along with everyone, and it'll be as close as I can get to replicating going to see the movies in theaters in, 2006 and 7 and 8 and whenever all those movies came out. All right, so that is the end of this second breakfast, the second breakfast. Like I said at the start of this, make sure you're following the podcast on social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, so that you can have some input about what future second breakfast episodes will be about. I know right now that the next foreseeable second breakfast episode would be on Two Towers thoughts. Because as we speak right now, I'm one chapter. I've already read the first chapter of Two Towers. Tolkien, why did you do this to me? I'm halfway through Two Towers is the point. So the Q&A reflections type prediction episode will be coming up in a couple weeks before you know it. I say a couple, it'll be 11 weeks, but it'll be here before you know it. So make sure you're following @TolkienAboutPod on Twitter and Instagram. Also join the Facebook group. It's a fun time in there, y'all. It's a fun time because people are... I'm laughing so much. There's a great comedy monologue skit that someone wrote and they performed it, and it's Tolkien being upset because his editor cut out all of the stuff having to do with Hobbit milk. Fair warning, there is like explicit language in it, so if that's not your thing, that's fine, but it's hilarious. We're also sharing some good memes. Just good times all around in the Facebook group. It's great.
They can smell the milk, Jacob!
That's what I'm talking about as a proud member of WB&E. To learn more about all the wonderful shows on the network, go to WBNE.org. And until next time, just kidding, that's not my sign off. That's what I'm talking about.